That's impressive too. But our guys to keep fighting back when the game could have got away from us really easily. And so just really proud of our competitive spirit tonight. I love the way Zoom Diallo came out and kind of kept us within striking distance in the first half, being aggressive. And I didn't think the rest of our team was as aggressive as we needed to be in the first half if you're going to have a chance to win this game. And I thought in the second half, Hannes was a lot more, aggressive, getting that ball to the rim and rebounding and opening things up. But, when you play a team like this, like our margin for error, we don't have much margin for error against a team like this. And when they start making those threes and the place gets rocking, it gets really hard. And, the first half, we probably had 5 or 6 switch breakdowns, which led to, 4 of their threes.
Questions? You guys had 40 points in the paint, 10 offensive rebounds. Was that kind of an area you wanted to try to exploit going in, just being able to dominate the paint and the boards?
I wouldn't say like trying to exploit, because I think they do a pretty good job in the paint, but like it's one of our strengths. We haven't shot the ball great this year. It's crazy because I think we have some pretty good shooters, and I'm just waiting for that kind of the dam to break a little bit. But Hannes is an elite offensive rebounder, and I thought even some of our guards getting in there and Jacob getting some tip backs was critical because we had to get some of those second chance points.
Say the crowd was the best crowd you played in front of. I mean, what
this year, yeah.
Yeah, what specifically kind of made it that way?
I mean, just their energy. Like right when you walk in, you can feel it. The student section was, going crazy before even the tip. The fans were standing up, like they were engaged the whole game. Like very smart, obviously basketball. Like they knew when Nebraska was making a run. They knew when they might have had a lull and they needed to get loud when they were on the defensive side of the basketball. And a couple times in the second half, when Hoiberg, he hit that three, the place just erupted. And that's a home court advantage. It's like everywhere in the Big Ten, but it was impressive tonight.
Coach, coming into this game, Coach Hoiberg said your guys' length would be a big issue. You guys had the 40 points in the paint, you had 1 offensive rebounds. What do you think you can use from that moving forward for your guys' next game?
Yeah, I think, rebound is just competitive spirit, and like I said, I liked our guys tonight on the glass. I still think, we had a couple that were in our hands that, they came and just raked it away. I know 2 for sure were, Hoiberg came and just took it from our big guys, and that can't happen. But I think, we have to use our size, Frank and Hannes, and those guys, like, that's one of our advantages when we're offensive rebounding or trying to throw the ball down low. Now, the way they defend, it's really hard to get post catches. So, like, we had to do some different things tonight, like offensively, and I think our guys did a pretty good job, on pretty much on a 2-day prep, preparing for a defensive team like that.
Coach, you mentioned during your radio interview playing Portland Muldrew today. Can you talk just a little bit about what you saw from him tonight?
Yeah, really proud of him playing 26 minutes. We played him just because he competes. He's our freshman. He hasn't played a ton, but you could tell like when he got in there, he's not scared. I wasn't excited when he just pulled a 3 on a basically a 1-on-4 transition. But that's the swagger that he plays with, and I'm not going to take that from him. I loved how he competed. He got the ball to the paint. In the first half when we were kind of struggling to get past guys, and I thought he did a really good job. Having 3 assists. But just his aggressiveness and competitive spirit, I thought it really changed the game for us because him and Zoom were the 2 guys in that first half that were able to get the ball into the paint and make them collapse a little bit.
Anything else, Coach?
You bet. Thanks.
Go for questions.
Do you have an update on Braden?
He's pretty sore. We'll know a lot more tomorrow. So don't want to say too much until we see how he does overnight. We'll X-ray him tomorrow. Just really for precautionary reasons. Our trainer thinks everything's going to be fine. But right now it's just it's an ankle sprain, and we'll know more tomorrow.
If he does have to miss time, what does the rotation look like?
Yeah, I just told the guys in the locker room, everybody's got to be ready. Braden's given us a lot, obviously, this season on both ends of the floor, and everybody's got to be ready to step up in his absence and contribute. And I thought guys did that tonight. I thought Jared gave us some good minutes. I thought that lineup with Kale in there at the end at the 4 gave us some good defensive versatility. And, we've got guys that I think with everything that we've done are built to play big minutes. And we're going to have to probably change some things in practice now. And, we get pretty physical with them at times with when we have to. But you may have to change that up a little bit now, especially, we got 2 games here in obviously a very short amount of time, heading into a really tough Minnesota team on an early game on Saturday, so we won't do a ton of live reps in practice the next couple days, and then we got another 2-day prep after that. So we'll get through it. Next man up mentality. That's how it goes in this business, and I'm confident in that locker room.
What was just his emotional state, obviously, him waiting to play this year and then really ascending to this point?
Yeah, it's tough. It really is, and you feel for somebody that puts as much time into his craft as Braden does. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around, and to see him go down like that was tough, and the emotions that came out. But that's what makes him special. Is he's got a unbelievable passion for this game. He plays with an edge and a swagger, and we all feel for him. But at the same time, we'll get through it. That's why you put all the work in, and everybody's gonna have to be ready to step up.
Physicality of this game was they were pretty physical and handsy. How do you think your team handled it?
Yeah, they were unbelievably physical, and that's what they do. Steinbeck is an absolute monster, and he's one of the best I've seen at getting his own miss. And I thought we did a better job on the glass in the second half with him. He had 4 in the first, I think 1 in the second, but he was wedging us out of the paint pretty good. So, listen, we did a lot of good things. We got up 18 in that game. I thought our offensive rhythm was really good with the exception of the end of the first, and then we were just trying to hang on there at the end in the second half. But, I thought our rhythm, you shoot over 50% against, I think, a really good defensive team, a really physical team. And it's a good win. I thought they made some tough shots in the first half. They made some mid-range contested ones. That's what we live with our defense. And, you shake their hand when they make those. And if you keep doing it and keep giving those up, you're going to have good success. But, they did beat us up a little bit in the paint. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of things we're going to learn from this game. But at the end of the day, it's a double-digit win in Big Ten play. That's a hell of an accomplishment.
What do you think you got from Jared tonight?
Yeah, I thought, it's good to see Jared knock down that 3 in the first half. I thought he had a really good post move and got to his jump hook there in the second, and got a couple good rebounds for us as well. And obviously his role will change a little bit moving forward here, and just continue to grow and continue to understand. We put him on the 5 a little bit out there, and he went over the 4. I thought he struggled a little bit on the defensive end, but he's got to be on point now with everything that we got going. And again, I thought BK was really good. I thought BK was what did he play? 28 minutes. Was efficient. I thought made some really good passes out there, and 18 assists, 8 turnovers. That's pretty good. So again, I thought everybody that was on the floor made a big contribution.
Obviously not perfect for Wayne, but to get back in the double figures, see a couple threes go down, how big was that for him this game?
Yeah, and listen, his shot looked great. I thought those other ones were down, and a couple in and outs. It's good to see him out there being aggressive, and he played 33 minutes. I told you he was okay, and he's going to continue to be asked a lot. That's why when we can get him rest, it's important. But I thought he played a really, really good overall game tonight. Even though his shots didn't fall probably the way he wanted, I thought he was really good in all the other areas.
Bryce had his 3rd straight 20-point game. I guess just what's his level of confidence shooting the ball right now?
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence, and we're going to do everything we can to find him. Thought we ran a couple good actions, and our guys made good plays. They set good screens to get him loose. And again, when we get stops, when we get out in transition, we got to find where we always have to know where Price is, and our guys have done a good job recognizing that.
How do you think you guys handled the X out closer? Now you get to Steinbach in the short roll there, and then the kick to the corner.
Say it again.
How do you think you guys handled the X out kind of closeouts, and they hit Steinbach kind of in that short roll?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a tough play to guard, especially when you're a little bit undersized out there on the floor. And they set that little butt screen on top of the floor, and now you switch a big onto Diallo. I thought did a great job of getting into the paint and making plays as well. So for the most part, I thought we did a solid job. But again, they beat us up a little bit. But again, guys, it's it's a 10-point win against a good Big Ten opponent. And we had that thing up in 20 for a lot of that second half. So I'm proud of the guys. It's a good win for us, but at the same time, yes, there are some good things that we're going to take and learn, and we'll have a good cleanup film session in the morning.
How do you feel about where Cale Jacobson is at? I mean, obviously he played more minutes tonight once Braden went down, and if he needs to play more minutes in the future, how do you think he's set to
Cale plays a lot for us every night. I think Cale's been unbelievable all season long. We're gonna even though I'm not sure he scored tonight, but I thought he had a huge impact on that game. And yeah, he's a huge part of our rotation, and we're going to continue to rely on him. And yes, his minutes probably will go up even more than they already are.
Yes, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
I blocked it out good. Personally, I didn't know what was going on until like the end of the last media. That's when I seen him walk out in the boot, and I seen a clip of Connor, just sitting down and praying with him. We'll all be here to support him and, stick with it.
What was the key? I mean, you got up to a big lead and then kind of just, I don't know, the offense kind of went cold a little bit down the stretch. What was the key to finishing the job tonight in a game that you were kind of in control throughout?
Something that we've been doing every game, just, our defense will, regardless if we're on offensively or not, our defense is, will always be there, something that we stand on.
Have you seen a difference in the way opponents are defending you, just staying kind of glued to you, especially these past few games, the way you've been shooting it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of felt like that the whole season, how they've been guarding me. But I give a lot of credit to my teammates and coaches for, getting me in the right spots. And, we know how to combat those type of defensive principles if they're going to hug me like that or if they're going to switch a lot or anything like that. But, it's pretty nice when I can get going in transition as well. And this guy's, finding me in transition, and Sam and everybody, and I got Rink and BK setting great screens, and the coach is drawing up good sets. So it's been really good getting going, even when I'm getting defended like that.
Just gives you guys confidence that however long Brady may be out for, you guys will be able to overcome that and then have guys, step in their role.
Yeah, I mean, it's next man up. I don't really know how long he's going to be out, but we have very, very capable guys. I have full confidence in everybody on our squad, and so yeah, just next man up.
Bryson, that's 3 games, 20 points or more for you. I mean, in terms of your kind of basketball career, do you feel like you're playing at your best right now, even going back to high school too?
Yeah, I'd like to say it's probably the best my shots felt in my career. It's felt really good, but I give all the credit to my teammates and coaches. I'm getting the ball in the pocket where I can get it up quick, and catching it on the laces versus not the laces. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I'm playing at a high level, and I just got to keep it going. But just focusing on the rebounding and the defensive side is going to be big for me.
Jared was a guy that kind of called on, especially when Braden went out, with his role maybe picking up over the next few games. I guess what does he bring to the table, and I guess what kind of impact does he make in this rotation?
Just his toughness and obviously his size. He's very athletic, so obviously when he steps in on the floor, he's big for us. The main thing for him is just being confident. In our rotations defensively. Sometimes he could just be in his own head. Like I said, he's a great player, and he's gonna keep finding his shot as well. For him, just staying poised. That's really it.
How much pride do you take with playing with that pace? You've had a few of those where you got down the floor in like 5 seconds, get a bucket or get fouled like you did tonight.
I think that's just an opportunity for me to, get a bucket myself. If not, I got my shooters up on the wing. Obviously, like we watched it in film. It's just when we're not playing with pace, our offense gets stagnant, and then teams can easily guard us as well. So it's on me to push the pace.
What are you looking for when you're pushing the pace? When you take it all the way to the rim like you did a couple times tonight, is there something you're looking for? How do you pick and choose your spots?
So obviously, team makes a shot. I'm getting the ball out. I'm just surveying the floor. Obviously, my main target is him next to me. Wherever he's at, I'm trying to find him and see if I can get the ball up on the floor. But then it's just see if I can get to the rim and get it easy too. And if not, I got good instincts. I know when I hit the paint, the other team's going to collapse as well, and it's be easier for me to spray out.
Anything else, you guys? Hey, Price, the Washington head coach said that this was the best arena they played in all season. From the beginning to the end, the crowd was super loud. You both have played in different conferences, different arenas. What's it like when you guys hit a big three and you just feel the crowd go crazy?
I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's like you said, it's the best fan base and best arena in the country, I'd like to say. So, yeah. Then it obviously provides a lot of energy for offensive side, but also when we're getting back on defense as well. Getting down, and I'd also say it helps with wind too. Like if you're tired and someone hits a shot and the crowd's loud like that, it just kind of feels like you get an extra win. So it's really big, and the fan base has been a big part of our success this year.
Marcus, did you guys change anything defensively on Diallo there to start the second half? You went like the first 13 minutes without scoring.
No, nothing changed. It's just obviously we just go in the locker room at half and Coach Nate just nitpicking every single thing, and it's on us to come out and execute in the second half. But I just think I started on him. I guess I just came out flat. Made him too comfortable in the beginning. So, but we did a great job of shutting him off. I think he stayed at 12 points until like 12-minute mark. So I think we did a good job on that.
Go ahead, Chase. Any story behind the graphic tees tonight, and are we ever going to catch you in a Minecraft hoodie after a game?
No, you'll not catch me in a Minecraft hoodie. But yeah, these things are sweet. I don't know if they're for sale. Seamus, are they for sale? No idea. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. They might be for sale soon, but yeah, pretty sweet. But no Minecraft hoodie. Damn Connor.
We good?